So this is kind of a last minute thing. I know Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out this month, and we probably should have done this last month at least. But real quick, I got my friend Nikzson here, and we're gonna do a last second kind of prediction for Kingdom Hearts 3. What we think is gonna happen in the game, what we want to happen in the game, and maybe what we want to see in the future. Real quick. So first of all, I think my prediction is that I have a feeling that whatever is in the black box, you remember that the Master of Masters gave to Lucian? Whatever's in that box, I'm not entirely sure what it is, but whatever it is, it's either going to start the Keyblade War, or it's going to end it on his terms. Like, because he saw the future through the no-name Keyblade that he eventually gave to Lucian, and he wrote everything down in the Book of Prophecy. So he knows how things are going to happen. And again, I think whatever is in the box is either going to start the war or they'll end it on his terms. But I'm not entirely sure what that thing actually is, because I don't know if you remember when he told Lucia what it was. Lucia was more surprised that whatever it was is in the box, less so than what it actually is. Did you not remember that?
I do remember.
Because like he told Lucia, he's like, but why? So it's like, well, why is that in the, not what it is, but like, why did you put that in the box? And some people have thought that maybe it's the Master himself, or maybe he somehow put his heart into the box, or his entire being into the box, and that's what it is. I just realized. Okay, so he disappeared, right?
Mm-hmm.
He predicted his own disappearance. Didn't go into detail about it. I'm going to disappear one day, but why? Are you dying? Are you going to just walk off? Is your body going to physically disintegrate? What do you mean you're going to disappear?
He just vanished through time.
Maybe.
Vanished through time. That's the only way, because that's still his eye.
Right.
In Master Xehanort's Keyblade.
Yeah, but it's the eye though. It's not.
He's still seeing through it.
Yeah. Can you hear the helicopters right now? I hope that's not going to get in the video. It probably will. Maybe it won't.
Probably will.
Well, okay. But I'm trying to think. Maybe. Hit you again. Maybe. Okay, so when he disappeared, maybe he actually put himself into the box. Because he said, when I disappear, I need all 6 of you to do these things. So he put himself into the box, and then Lucian dragged it out to the Badlands. And he has been somewhere ever since. I don't think he's immortal.
No. I think he uses at least let's say a better technique compared to what Master Xehanort is trying to do with the 13 darknesses.
I don't know. It's just it's just so weird. Like do you think any of them are even still alive? Because I think Kingdom Hearts Key was centuries ago, presumably. If it was a few decades ago, there'd be some questions.
I think he's still alive.
With the Master of Masters?
Yes, I think he's still alive. I think he's still watching over everything, just waiting for whatever is going on in the Book of Prophecies to take place. And our boy Sora just happens to be at the very center of it.
He kept saying that he doesn't want anyone to interfere with what's happening in the book. Like he said, you see everything you see going on in the book, don't interfere with that. That's all supposed to happen. Don't interfere. So what if he maybe wants something bad to happen, but he doesn't want them to actually, because he knows you can interfere, but if they do, they'll ruin his plans.
I feel like what he put them through in Kingdom Hearts Key was more of an experiment.
Because it said the orders he gave them was so incongruous with each other. He told Ira, when I disappear, you take over. He told us, said, you support Ira as second in command, but if you feel that he isn't doing a good enough job, replace him. But he said that knowing I said himself wanted to be the leader.
Mm-hmm.
And then he told Envy. I'm trying to remember. He said to watch the group from within, but I can't remember who told her to actually interfere in any sort of way or not. I don't remember he said to do anything like that. go and look at it again.
Yeah, I need to see it again as well.
He's always heard to watch the group from within. He told Luciu to watch the group from without. And also to take the no-name Keyblade and pass it down through the generations. And also to take that black box and guard it, whatever it is. And then he told Ava to create a secret sixth group of special Keyblade wielders and then send them out into the world when the time comes. And he's by far the most mysterious person in the entire series thus far.
Yeah. And I hope that, oh my god, I really hope that when his intentions are revealed, it is not anticlimactic.
No. I heard that Justine Moore once said that if you think about it, you can figure out what's in the box. But like a theory that I see floating around is that it's the master himself, like either his heart or his entire being is, or whatever it is. It's him in the box, and he's waiting for the right time for someone to come and open it so he can do whatever.
So kind of like a casket of sorts.
I don't remember that. Maybe like a stasis or something like that. And it, I love the series now, but like I do wish. Oh, first of all, I wish Square didn't delay Kingdom Hearts 3. But I say delay, but like they flat out just weren't working on it. Like they were preventing Nomura from working on the games. I say delay, but at the same time, it's not like he's working on the game since. Like they announced it in 2013, but Nomura admitted that all they had for the game was the one trailer and the one concept gameplay trailer they put out. That was to those two trailers, the reveal trailer and that gameplay trailer. That's all they actually had for the game. So he even said they announced the game too early. So I say delay, but really Square just like was not focusing on that game. Mm-hmm. Right? What I'm getting at though is that I wish like they could have just done Kingdom Hearts. The Kingdom Hearts 3 could have been out on PS3 years ago, and now we could be like this could be like Kingdom Hearts 5 or something. Like 3 is set as the end of the Dark Seeker saga, but again it didn't have to end with 3. 3 could have come out years ago on PS3. This could be Kingdom Hearts 4 or 5 right now or something.
Or well, not Kingdom Hearts 4 or 5, but. You know how I feel about like things going on past like 4.
No, I don't know.
I don't like when anything goes past 4.
You don't like Star Wars? I know. You're not like a Star Wars fan.
Well, it's not that I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I just need to actually sit down and watch it.
Do the original trilogy. Trust me on this, because like you go back. I know you don't know as much as I know about it, but like. It's when you say you have this information for years. You sit down and think about it. The prequels and the ending and the sequels start looking even worse and worse and worse and worse as time goes on.
Back to the video.
Yes. So so I think what I'm getting at is that because in Kingdom Hearts 3, one of the trailers, Maleficent is asking about the black box that Luciu has. So did you not see that?
I didn't see that.
So I forget what show it is, but there's one trailer she's asking about the black box. I was like, so now this black box is coming up as an important plot item. So it's like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish like because what's great about Kingdom Hearts is that every time a new game comes out, Tetsuya Nomura or whoever's actually saying he directs every game. I know that. I'm trying to forget if he actually writes everyone. I'm not entirely sure, but whenever a new game comes out and they add new information to it, it fits. You know. They work it into the canon, where like the thing about the nobodies. Okay, first of all, not counting nobodies in Kingdom Hearts 1 is kind of an oversight, but we can I guess put it to the side. Not counting any nobodies ever in Kingdom Hearts. Never ever. Not even a hint of nobodies ever in Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts 2 comes around. Hey, there's things called nobodies. They're born whenever Hollis is born. Really? You never thought to need to mention this at all in Kingdom Hearts 1? Although I will say, in the 3 extra chapters for Ansem's report in Kingdom Hearts 1, they added those in Final Mix, and of course in the PS3 and PS4 version. Those journal entries do mention something similar to the Nobody. I think that should mention the Nobodies indirectly. I think.
Yeah, in somewhere in Hollow Bastion, I think.
Yeah, journal entries 11, 12, and 13. One or two of those at least mention the Nobodies. I don't think by name, but they mention them. So, I mean, to that extent, you can think like Nomura or whoever wrote that up was thinking ahead of the game, because they're going to add the nobodies eventually for Kingdom Hearts 2. They thought about that already. So they thought, okay, let's go back to Final Mix. Let's add some sort of foreshadowing to that. But again, it does not answer the question of how come we never saw nobody's ever in the game, ever.
Well, I'm pretty sure that wasn't a part of its initial design.
That's what I'm saying, though. But so, every time a new entry comes out, they always incorporate, when they incorporate something new, and it works. So what I'm saying, though, is like, this is the last entry for the series, the Darkseeker Saga, at least. We'll see. Demoe said he wanted to go to Kingdom Hearts 4 at least. He said they'll go past Kingdom Hearts 3, but we'll see what happens. That could have... Kingdom Hearts is kind of a cash cow franchise, almost, but the fact that it's kind of ignores it for long periods of time is aggravating. But we'll see what happens if they go to Kingdom Hearts 4 and beyond. But what I'm getting at is that you mentioned this black box for the first time 1 or 2 entries ago, however you want to measure it, 1 or 2 entries before Kingdom Hearts 3. And now Kingdom Hearts 3, the last entry, now it's becoming an important plot item when we just found out about it like a game or 2 ago.
And I really hope that they managed to tie that in very well, because I sense some huge retcons coming.
Oh, there are always retcons in Kingdom Hearts, which it can be annoying sometimes. But again, the way Kingdom Hearts does it, it fits. It makes sense. It's not always just. I think there's a difference in anything where we can consider something a retcon, or we can consider something just new information coming to light. Like I think the nobodies I think are a very massive retcon because again, as I said before, we never heard of them or saw them at all in Kingdom Hearts 1. Now they're coming to play in Kingdom Hearts 2, and also they're very important.
Well, I mean, the same thing can be said about the Unversed.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Unversed came from Vanitas, though.
Yeah, but Sid still had awareness of them. And I'm guessing they're going... Yeah, Yen Sid had...
Well, yeah, okay, but the Unversed weren't a problem in Kingdom Hearts 2, though. It was the nobodies that were the problem.
Okay,
yeah. Or even like the concept of sleeping worlds, like that never came up either.
I thought that was a thing in Kingdom Hearts 1.
No, sleeping worlds? No.
No. I'm wrong.
I think it was now lost to the darkness. And when you get to like end of the world, I guess you could look at it as kind of a sleeping world of sorts because it's lost to the darkness and stuff. But how they define it is that when the Horrors attack certain worlds, those worlds close their keyholes and put themselves to sleep in order to prevent the Horrors from coming to them. Somehow that evolves into having Dream Eaters pop up. I don't know how that works, but I feel like I dreamed up this.
Oh man, I really need to catch up again.
Yeah, because I thought about playing all the games again all the way up to Kingdom Hearts 3, but I was thinking, do I want to exhaust myself?
It's too late.
Not only is it too late, but also even if I did it all last year, Kingdom Hearts 1, then Reach of the Memories, then 2, 3, 5, 8 days over 2, Blood by Sleep, all in a row. I think by the time I got to Kingdom Hearts 2, I would probably be just okay. Alright, I'll do Twilight Town with Roxas' story, and then I'll put it down for a second, because Jesus. Like, it's fatiguing to sit in so quick, especially... Kingdom Hearts is it's like 13 games deep now.
Is it 13?
Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, 2, 3, 5, 8 Days Over 2, Birth by Sleep, Recoded, Dream Drop Distance. Depending how you want to look at it, the key is either one thing or it's like 3 things put together. Like 3 separate things, depending on how you want to look at it. Birth by Sleep 0.2, 3. No, wait, hold on, I'm missing something. No, that's right, actually. 1, Chain of Memories, 2, 3, 5, 8 Days Over 2, Birth by Sleep, Recoded, Dream Drop Distance, Key, Birth by Sleep 0.2, and... Okay, so you can count as 12, as 10 to 12 games, or 13 even, if you count Kingdom Hearts Key as one single thing, or 3 separate, because it's Kingdom Hearts Key. Then there was Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, which was the re-release, which I guess you don't count re-releases.
The cinematic version, sort of.
No, the one on phones, and
Oh,
but then they renamed that Union Cross because I think Kingdom Hearts Key, especially since you're using an old Latin letter or character rather, that's an entire word. I think people probably got a little confused by that. I know people probably call it Kingdom Hearts Chi or Kingdom Hearts Chai or something.
I don't think it was ever Chi.
It never was. It's pronounced Key because of course Key Blade. You get it, and that's what they're going for. Plus,
Or
it's
death.
as Message not said. I'm not an expert on Latin, so I don't know exactly how right that is. But all right, we'll go with that thematically for the time being.
I really don't know what was the point of that though.
I don't know, whatever. But so I guess they went into Kingdom Hearts Union Cross because I assume because for one thing, Union Cross is supposed to be season 2 of the game, and 2, again, I think people probably thought that the name was a bit confusing. Kingdom Hearts Key to Kingdom Hearts Union Unchained Key. How do you want to call it? First of all, the letter itself, you do remember they had to put it as Chi or CHI in parentheses in the title, right? That's officially in the logo.
I never noticed that part.
It's officially in the logo.
Oh man.
It's officially in the logo. So you want to count it as one thing, one collective thing, Kingdom Hearts Key, one collective thing, or you want to count it as just 3 or 4 things separately? Key, the original browser game from Japan. Unchained Key when they released it to mobile devices. Union Cross Season 2, but again, you could probably consider just one thing.
Yeah, I would probably consider them all as one thing.
And then Kingdom Hearts Key back cover, which is the cinematic that they put out for 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. So yeah, personally, I do consider just one thing, just Kingdom Hearts Key, just all of it together, one thing, or even just 2 things, because Unchained Key is just a mobile phone version of the browser game they put out in Japan. They export it to mobile devices. So you can probably consider that to be the same thing, or an expanded version of that original thing. And then Kingdom Hearts Key back cover is a separate thing.
You know what's one other thing I hope happens in Kingdom Hearts 3?
What?
I hope that with the reappearance of Larxene,
Right. That's go ahead. I'll say it. Go ahead.
Yeah, Larxene, Luxord, Marluxia.
Yeah.
I hope they actually explain what was their initial, I guess, I can't find the right words, but I guess induction.
Instead of actually Kingdom Hearts Union Cross Key whatever. They actually Marluxia's original stuff actually appears in the game.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I heard it wasn't very important.
Was it not? I didn't get that far. I didn't get that game. It's a boring game. I'm sorry. It is absolutely a boring game. You played it. Get it for your phone. Try it out for yourself. Eventually, you get bored of it. There are a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans who love the game, even outside of Japan too. That game was perfect for Japanese audiences because gacha games are just so popular in Japan, mobile games and everything, which just points me like all hell. Because I saw something today.
Culture difference.
No, I saw something today. The 2 top earning mobile games in Japan both earned $1 billion each. I think throughout last year.
Were they not very good? Or?
I don't know, but the point is like there are these mobile gacha games. I want you to spend money into mounting tablet with your phone or your tablet. To get to the prize of it all, and it's just those. And when you have that, people pay obviously for the microtransactions and everything. And so when you have that, people will it incentivizes those companies to keep those games going. And so people get mad at Activision and everyone and EA for putting microtransactions into those games. And it's like, yeah, we don't like it, but then no one's giving them a reason to not do it. People
buy it. They talk with their money.
Exactly.
Talk with money.
I haven't spent a single game dime on a gacha game ever. I the things I've owed my wallet, but the problem is so did everyone else, and everyone else decided to buy into it.
Forget those games.
And
I will never spend a single dollar on any.
No, you shouldn't. No. My point is though, Kingdom Hearts Key I don't have fun with it. I got actually pretty far into it, I think, but according to the story progression percentage, I'm like less than 20% to the game or something. And then they had Season 2 come out, which I didn't get to that far. It's just a boring. I don't know.
What else do you predict?
What's the thing? What was going before? Like, I don't like the fact it's lazy as hell that to fill out the true Organization 13, they brought in Luxord, Marluxia, and Morxine. That's lazy as hell.
It's lazy, but at the same time, it's like, why these three in particular?
Yeah, because here's the thing. Because
why them?
Xemnas actually said in Dream Drop Distance, certain organization members were not fit to be part of the true organization. They're either too weak, they died. They were too disloyal, they left. Or what was the third thing he said? He said they were either too weak or they were too disloyal. And that was the entire group except for Zigbar, who proved his loyalty over a decade ago, and Syax, who proved his loyalty over and over again. He actually is literally the second in command of the organization.
Correct.
So except for those two people, and Roxas actually, despite Roxas's rebellion, they still wanted him until he finally left them completely and got back to Sora. So that torched up those plans.
I feel like that only has connection with... I mean, that only has to do with his connection to
Sora.
Sora and possibly Ventus.
Maybe, but I think the way that young Xeno talked about, like, I think it's because of Roxas' ability to use the Keyblade in general, and plus I think just his general power, they wanted him. And especially, they goes back to Riku too, because like, young Xeno even said they wanted Riku the most. Riku was their first choice, period. But then he built up a certain resistance to darkness, so we did what the Keyblade did and moved down the list. So then they turned attention to...
Wait a minute. Did you just do the exact quote from...
Did you know how many times I watched that scene? Because it's fucking brilliant. That entire one cutscene is the linchpin of the entire franchise.
Oh, man. Then I need to get back to that game.
We did what the Keyblade did and moved down the list. Roxas. Now there was a worthy candidate. But he became too aware of himself and returned to Sora.
I think I really like how they made Roxas his own being over time.
That's kind of weird though, because I debate, I go back and forth with like, so is Roxas, do you consider Roxas and Ventus two separate people?
By now I do, but I feel like he has to have very close ties with those two.
With Terra and Aqua? Or do you
Sora and Ventus. He has to have very close ties with them.
He does. Because the reason I debate about it is because, and sometimes the retcons for the series are interesting sometimes, but sometimes they kind of work against the series. Like, Roxas' uniqueness was the fact that he acted like he had a heart. Something about him. Maybe it's because he Sora's nobody. And like he sort of influenced Axel to kind of feel again too, I guess. But the fact that like they go back and say, actually, he did have a heart the entire time. It was Ven's heart. Like that's literally why he looks like Ven. He had that heart inside him the entire time. That's why he acted like he had a heart. That's why he used the Keyblade. That's why he acted the way he did. And then Xemnas comes by and says, actually, all nobodies eventually cultivate a new heart for themselves. Eventually, so by that logic, though, you must become a nobody then because you get superpowers.
Shock surprise! Roxas is part of the Unversed somehow.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hopefully not.
Or something happens with Ven and he becomes an Unversed. Or he fucking implodes in himself and turns into Vanitas. Which...
That would be hell to pay because he's still sitting inside Castle Oblivion to this day.
Not only that, I just remembered. Yeah, Vanitas is... Whoa. That's interesting, actually. I just realized. So the point, this is kind of why this is why I got kind of wait for Kingdom Hearts 3. Sorry for stuttering. I'm just getting excited right now. This is why I kind of wish that Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of waited a little longer because I don't want Kingdom Hearts 3 is the final game, but half the plot's gonna be dedicated to finding and freeing Terra, Aqua, and Ven. That's half the plot kind of way. What I would rather have is like another game, one more game. That game is when they're finding them and freeing them. So Kingdom Hearts 3, they're all there from the beginning. They're going to work together from the start to fight against Xehanort. That's what I want to see personally. But what I'm getting at, though, what I'm getting at is
my buddy, I'm sorry to cut you off, but my buddy at work, he made an interesting point about it. He said, "Where is my war?"
Yeah, that should be the entire final game.
Right. That's where I think it should go as well.
That's the entire final game should be the actual war. Which we... Man, I feel like the probably save the war for like the final dungeon of the game or the final war, whatever it is. But at the same time, that's gonna be kind of forced. It's gonna be kind of like a rushed war at the very end of the game, though.
Yeah, but they might pull like the first Kingdom Hearts had went on for a. It kind of went on for quite a while.
What do you mean, the first game?
The first game, the ending of the first game went on for quite a while.
Oh yeah, but that wasn't a war there. It was just standard it was just standard RPG final dungeon stuff.
It wasn't, but at the same time, what I'm getting at is in Kingdom Hearts 3, if they do decide